so that, yeah,
Cool.
so that everyone will be able to watch later. But
Swanee's off.
yeah, take off those glasses. Come on.
Now I'm not going to be able to sleep. No.
Oh, man. All right. So for those of you guys who are watching the recording and for those of you guys who are here with us live, this is my good friend, Andrew. He is a badass digital marketer and really, really awesome specifically at getting clients and making them really, really happy. So I know for some of us, and I know for me personally, like phone sales is not, it's something that I know that I struggle with and like something that I'm actively trying to improve. So that's why I'm super, super pumped to have you on here. And yeah, do you want to just give us like a little background on yourself?
Yeah, well, let me know first, what are you guys selling exactly?
Yeah, so Ella, if you want to just hop in at any point,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, so I'm a digital marketer, and yeah, so basically sell my services.
Cool. What services do you have?
A number of services. I've been doing some VA work, which I'm moving away from now due to my experience with the types of clients that I was getting weren't great. Moving more specifically into copywriting, yeah, and also into YouTube a little bit.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's
Is there anybody else on this call, Nico?
I don't know. I don't think anyone else is hopping on yet. Jordan should be here. Jordan, I know, does copywriting, funnel building, and a range of other stuff, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, we've got Ken wants to be doing Facebook ads and funnels, and then Ben wants to be doing Facebook ads and funnels, but they're both haven't gotten into that yet.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm Andrew Kroeze. I started my agency about 6 months ago, like officially. I had a social media marketing agency that I started up about a year ago, and I hated that because you have to create so much content for Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, and it takes forever, and you don't see like an instant benefit or anything happen right away out of it. There aren't any instant results. So I switched over to campaign management, which basically means I run Facebook ads into a sales funnel. Or right now I'm switching all my clients over to messenger bots because I really feel like messenger bots are the future. And they're just crazy, crazy awesome. And I haven't had one client say no to a messenger bot yet. So love them. So that's kind of my background. 6 months ago, I started the campaign management, took a bunch of courses and learned how to run campaigns properly online through Facebook advertising. I started off offering 7-day free trials for my clients. So there are multiple ways you can reach out. The first way that I tried, which was really, really successful, is reaching out to my internal network. So I made a Facebook post just saying, hey, I started this new company. I'm running Facebook advertisements free for a week for local businesses. Who do you guys know that would like to try out free Facebook advertisements for a week for their local business? So big, just reach out to your internal network. You do not know, you will be surprised who your friends and family know and who they can direct you to. It's how I got my first client, which was a coffee shop. I didn't know one of my best girlfriends from college. Her dad runs a coffee shop, and she was like, talk to my dad. And I went over and talked to her dad and was able to sign him on the spot. He was like, yes, this is what we need. So we totally skipped the free trial from there, which was awesome. So number one, reach out to your internal network, tell them what you're doing, and always offer value up front. You always got to be like, if you listen to Gary Vee, he's always talking about providing 51% compared to you're giving 51% and you're taking 49%. So you always got to be giving value and giving value up front. and proving your worth. So some other things that I would offer is making a Google 5-star review link for my clients, installing or possible clients, installing their Facebook pixel onto their website. So I don't
these
know.
all things, these are all like free things that you offered like right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of that, people, if you can say it in a nice way, people always like constructive feedback. So let's say for copywriting, if it's something on their website, if you could say it in a very nice way, hey, if you said it in this way, you would get way more conversions. If you structured it this way, your conversions will go up. So just starting with value and giving them a little insight of like why, like tell them why if they structured their website this way, they would get more conversions or something like that. So always tell them the why. I have a lot of students that do cold emails that work really, really well. A little tool that you can use is D7 Lead Finder, which I love. Have you ever used that?
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, go D7 Lead Finder right now, d7leadfinder.com, and it's the number 7. Holy crap, it's awesome. It's a free service. You just search the city and you search the industry, and it will pop up like all of the gyms in that area, all of the yoga studios, and it will give you their website, it will give you their physical address, and like about 25% of the time they'll have their email right then and there.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I'm checking this out now. It's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. So you put that into textmechanic.com. So you can download the CSV file. You go to textmechanic.com and you fix up the the structure of the Excel sheet. And then you go to NeverBounce and you run that Excel sheet through neverbounce.com, and it will take out all the bad email addresses. So boom, you have your cold email list right then and there. And the only thing you have to pay for is NeverBounce, but it's super duper cheap. So if you come up with a good cold email template, just blast those bad boys out. You want to keep it to 15 to 20 emails every 45 minutes. Because if you do any more than that, then you'll get caught in spam folders, which is never good.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know. I was going to kind of ask you, like, do you have any issues with spam when you're sending like a bunch of cold emails? So
yeah, you just want to just remember, don't put too many pictures, or like if you put more than 3 links in your email, you're screwed. Like I wouldn't even put a link in the first email, but if you have to, like limit it to 1. So yeah, just make it a really clean email. And the best way to send an initial cold email is to just get them to reply. Do not pitch your service. Do not do anything like that. Send an email that's basically, like I would say, since I do lead generation, I would say something like, hey, just curious, can you take on 8 to 10 new clients this week? That's really shitty copy, but like something like that.
I've actually seen someone else do a very similar thing where it's like, hey, my name's, or you don't even have to introduce yourself. Like, hey, like my name's, just like even just one sentence saying like, hey, could you guys take on like an extra like 5 to 10 new clients this week, or an extra whatever, like something that they want to say yes to, and just like leave it at that. And then they'll be like,
leave it at that, because then they're kind of curious. Some people will be sketched out, but some people will be really curious, and the people that are responding to that really have an issue with like getting clients or getting new members. So you're getting the quality people to respond back. I mean, for my service, lead gen for local businesses, my favorite way to get clients was just being face-to-face with them, going into the local businesses and just saying, hey, I'm Andrew Kroeze. I run a lead generation agency, and I'm offering free Facebook advertisements for a week. And then you always want to differentiate yourself. So I go into, hey, my Facebook advertisements include a sales funnel, email marketing, and I use a very specific method to get you the lowest cost per conversion rate. So that includes A/B testing, split testing, all the ad copy, and all the graphics. Everything is done by me, so you get that all free for a week. Like when I got to the decision maker and I said that, I didn't have one person say no to me, just because there is so much value up front. I was still learning my skills, so it was a benefit to me to do it free for a week. But what your objective is on that first, whatever you say, all you want to do is get them to be intrigued to want more. So get them to like just want more and set up a discovery meeting. Like that's your objective, is to set up a discovery meeting, learn about their business. And then I have a whole slew of questions that I ask during the discovery meeting, but you're just trying to get your foot in the door and really learn about their business and how you can help. You're just solving a pain for these, for whoever you're working with.
Right. Yeah. So I think one thing that really stood out to me, like when I was chatting with you about this earlier, is that you like to do a lot of your stuff like in person, like you actually walk in. And I think that's kind of something that a lot of people, myself included, would maybe be like a little bit uncomfortable with, or we might be like, I think I'm going to try like just cold emailing first and then like see how that goes. So what would you say to someone like myself, or maybe others who are watching, like who are not super comfortable about like going in person?
Yeah. Do whatever works. Like you have this cold email strategy here laid out in front of you. Like do as many strategies. Like when you're starting out, try so many different ways, and what works, just do that more. I found that like walking into local businesses and like just talking to them face to face worked for me. And I just did that more. I didn't send out any more cold emails or anything like that. So if you're getting responses to your cold email, screw going out and like talking to people in person. Like just scale your emails, send more emails, like just do what works. It's that simple. Try out a lot of crap and then just see what sticks and do that more.
Yeah. That's really great advice, because like I remember when I was very first starting out, like I had no idea what was going to work. And the way that worked for me was like posting in like Facebook groups and like kind of building my name that way. I did a lot of cold emailing like when I first started out, and I wasn't getting a good response because I didn't really know anything about anything basically. But I don't think I was not using, this tool that you just recommended, D7 Lead Finder. Like I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I was literally just like I was like Googling like what are businesses like in my city.
Yeah, and that takes so much time because you're bouncing screen to screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a freaking awesome resource. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then is it Ella or Aya?
Ella.
Awesome. So you're doing copywriting, right?
Yeah, I'm learning copywriting at the moment. So I've been doing Facebook ads and sales funnels. I find that I had a lot of success as well doing what you did, going in face-to-face. And what I wanted to ask you about that is how do you get around the situation where you feel like people are just picking your brain and wanting to just kind of run off and want to do it themselves? They're like, okay, now I know how to do it. And then they go and try and do it. And then obviously, usually they don't have great results, which is what I find. But then there's this awkwardness of like, they don't want to come back to you because they failed, and then they look elsewhere, that kind of thing. So I tend to get that.
Did you ran into that problem a lot? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
See, I haven't had that big of a problem with that because like these business owners are super busy. What's up, Ken?
Hey, Ken's in the house. Welcome.
What up? I found like these business owners are super busy and they want somebody to do it for them, and they don't want to bother with it. So when you're really producing results for them, they don't really want to go off and do it on their own. I think
that's targeting. I think that's my pre-work having to come in and actually target the right businesses, the right size business.
Yeah, and like there's so many shitty people out there. It's ridiculous. And it's all about finding the customers that are good to you and that like really value your services and what you're providing for them. And like once you scale to a good level, you're going to be able to fire a lot of your clients, which I was able to do after I had over 12 clients. And I was like, I can't handle this. So I just fired the crappy ones and kept the good ones. So,
Nice.
yeah. It's tough starting out though, because you want to like take on anybody that's willing to give you work. It's just an innate feeling like, oh, there's money there, I need to grab it. But starting out, really value your time. So if it's a client that's going to take, like they're paying you, but it's going to take up a ton of your time and you're not going to be able to prospect for other clients, you're going to have to say no to some money. Just know your time is super duper valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ella, actually, to bring up something that I personally have used and it's worked well for me as far as not getting people to like kind of like take what you said and like run off and try and do it themselves is, and I learned this script from Dave Rogan Moser. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He has like a software company, but he used to, do like digital marketing agency training. And basically the close was you list off like all these amazing benefits, kind of like Andrew just said about like, so we're going to get you like sales funnels, Facebook ads, like all this amazing stuff. And then you ask them like, is this something that you want to implement into your business like right away? And then like 9 times out of 10, if they're still on the call with you, like they'll be like, heck yes, I want that like right away. And then you can say, awesome. So there are 2 options for you right now. One of them is you can go ahead and you can implement this, everything that we've discussed. You can go ahead and you can do this yourself, or you can hire someone else to do it. Or you can go ahead and get started with us right now, and we'll take care of everything that we discussed, like start to finish, something like that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
Cool.
Absolutely. Just positioning it that way that they have the option, but make it a no-brainer to kind of go with what you're doing.
Yeah, I find that like if you put the decision in their hands and like you don't try to be like salesy, not that I don't get the sense that you're like salesy, but
I'm so not salesy. The thing is, my issue is I try and provide a lot of value, but I end up overdoing the value. And then they just think that they can just pick my brain and I'll do all this stuff for nothing. And it's just like, I've just got to get past that.
Yeah. You really got to get to a point where you just put your foot down and like, don't let people run over you. It's harder said than done, but.
Yeah. Especially when you're kind of chasing it and you're like, oh, I nearly got them there. I've like nearly closed it. And then it's like, no, they just run off and try and do it.
Yeah.
Where are you coming out of? Where are you from?
In Australia, in Brisbane.
Oh, nice. I actually have a student in Australia. I always talk about kangaroos with him because I don't know anything else about them.
We have a few of them.
The one thing.
And Ken, where are you coming from?
I'll unmute him.
Hello. Yes, I'm in California as well. San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, very cool, man. So I don't know if it's in Australia, but it's definitely all over the United States. BNI meetings. So if you go to bni.com, you can sign up for a chapter around you. And what these are, they're comprised of like just business people that refer you to other businesses. So it's just set up as a huge referral system. So I joined one of 30 people. Well, I didn't join it actually. You have 3 free meetings to go to, and you give like a 1 minute to 1 minute and 30-second pitch about your services, and then basically they try to refer you to other businesses. And my God, referrals are super duper powerful. I got going to those 3 meetings, I was able to get 3 clients out of it. So just go to bni.com, find a chapter around you, and it will really, really pay off. Referrals are amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about, do you have any sort of, I can't remember if this was you or if it was someone else in Johnny West's group, but do you have any sort of recommendations or strategies for getting referrals? You know, whether it's like offering a discount or something, or like, I don't know, anything. Do you have any strategies that you'd recommend on that?
Yeah, I mean, local businesses know so many other local businesses. One that I really like to do, but nobody's ever accomplished it, is if you give me 5 referrals that turn into paying customers, then I do all your services for free. So I had one chiropractor trying to get like 5 people together, and he actually got me 2 paying customers, and like he's still trying to get up to 5. But like I say, hey, like I charge $1,000 to $2,000 per month for my clients. So like that will save them a good chunk of money if they can get it for free. So some
Yeah.
of them are like, heck yeah. And like he knows a lot of them. I just don't have like time to talk to all of the referrals.
Mhm.
So that's a really good way. I mean,
That's an awesome strategy. I've never heard of
yeah,
that one.
even just 3. I put it at 5 just because I thought 5 was a good number, but like giving them like an actual tangible number that they can reach, like 3 is fine too. Like when you get 3 referrals, like
Hey,
it's
Ken, I'm
probably
gonna
worth
put you on
the work for free.
silent.
So that's a good way. Offering a discount for your services, even for 1 referral, is good. And another good strategy that I used to do is I would put it in my signature. So just like every time they got an email, they would see in my signature that, hey, 1 referral gets you $200 off for the next month. So they would see that over and over and over with every email I sent, and I got a few referrals that way.
That's an awesome strategy too.
Yeah.
Nice. See, I knew you had some good referral strategies.
Got some knowledge in my brain. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to actually make sure that. Let's see.
There's one more thing I wanted to cover. So it's super duper important to know where your target audience is. So if you're targeting, for me, like gym owners, knowing like what forums they interact on, what like websites they go to. One of my buddies, Tony Tover, went on to like dental, I don't know, something like dentalfarm.com or something like that. Because dentalville, I think, .com.
Mm-hmm.
And he was targeting dentists, obviously, and he would just put like all his information of like lead generation, like just all this stuff, how to run Facebook advertisements, how to build a good funnel, like all this super duper helpful information on the forum, didn't ask anything in return. And it's like, it was super duper like complicated, like, so they wouldn't want to do it. So he would get people reaching out to him, asking for his help just by providing free value on the forum. So that's another way, a great way to get clients.
Awesome. So I wanted to.
Hello. Hey, like, question though, like, would you recommend that we focus on one vertical, let's say dentist, or let's say plumber, for example? We know the industry and then try to dominate that, or
So
yourself, like, yeah.
So what services are you providing?
So myself, I do SEO, and I do like niche site myself, but I'm trying to exploring this kind of local business services, and try to learn like about the funnel and Facebook ads from Nico.
Nice. Yeah, so I would start off just getting results from easy, like easy niches. What I consider an easy niche is a high customer lifetime value with little work. So I find gyms to be super easy, dentists, chiropractors, super duper easy, those types of niches. And then figure out like once you produce a super amazing result for one of them, just niche down, like just start focusing on just chiropractors or just dentists, because then like with Facebook ads, like it's just copy and paste. Like copy and paste, change the name, and it's super easy when you can niche down. I mean, I have another buddy, Jeff Miller, who I just interviewed in my group, and he's all over the place. He like works with a quarry, and chiropractors and dentists, and like he's making $28,000. Like this past month, he made $28,000 from like being all over the place. But he has a very specific process of learning that niche very, very quickly. So learning their pain points, their desires, and their needs. So he has a very specific process to get that information out of that, extract that information very quickly out of that niche. But if you don't have that, I mean, just niche down, learn one niche really well, and just copy and paste the campaigns.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, he has like a team, right?
No, he has some virtual assistants, but like it's just him.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if his agency was more than just him. I kind of thought he had a team, but it sounds like maybe it's just a lot of VAs.
Yeah, he has like some people that write out the like soap opera sequences for him, but it's mainly just him. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, sorry to jump in,
Okay.
but I had posed a question, I think, earlier in the group about when you take on a bunch of clients in a short space of time, do you have a really automated onboarding process, or, you know, did you have your contracts templated up before you went out and started pitching en masse?
Yeah, I have the same contract I send everybody. The only section I change is like what the scope of work sometimes. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. I like to send like an onboarding email in terms of like connecting Facebook, their advertisement. Like I'm doing just local businesses. So right in that discovery meeting, if they were on board, I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's get our Facebooks connected. Because if you don't do that, you'll be running back and forth with them, because that shit will take time, and they will be super confused because they've never worked in Business Manager. So if you have something like that going on, like just get it done right then and there. But make sure you like come up with a nice like onboarding email, so you make sure you get all of their information. You really like I was saying earlier, you really want to know their target audience. So if you can extract the information of their pains, desires, and wants, that is your ad copy right there. You just hit on a pain, and then you say, hey, we have the solution for you. So that is super duper important to get out of your clients. And just, yes. So onboarding email, whip up a good one where you're extracting all of the information.
Cool.
Right. And one question that I thought of out of that is, how do you structure your services as being like, do you tell them like, hey, this is like month to month, like you can cancel anytime? Or do you tell them like, I don't know, like how do you word that? Because that was one thing that when I started doing like month to month services, I kind of wanted to, or I was wishing in the back of my head, like, wow, I wish that I could like actually get them to sign a contract, but I don't know how to word it other than saying like, you know, yeah, I provide month-to-month service.
I have a few clients that I've signed up for 3 month and 6 month contracts. I don't like them. Like I feel like I'm stuck. Like I feel like the best way to structure your services is month to month. I've had like, if you're able to produce results for these people, you shouldn't worry about them like running away, and like you shouldn't worry about locking them into a contract. Like the best way to get somebody to sign up for your services is saying, hey, we're doing this for a month, and my one guarantee to you is that you can fire me at the end of the month if I don't produce results. Then they start feeling, oh, there's no pressure. Like this is like, if it doesn't work out, then it's just for a month. If you like have them locked into a contract too, and you're not producing that first month, like you are going to feel shitty inside and be like, crap, I am just taking this person's money and it's a lose-lose situation for the both of you.
Yeah, it's just going to be like uncomfortable
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everyone.
exactly. So I prefer month to month.
That's really good to know, because I think a lot of people, I know, at least in my head, I would be like, oh, it would feel really secure to have, like, if I, could tell myself, hey, like, I'm gonna have this client for like X amount of months. But
Yeah,
you brought up
and
a really good point.
For like copywriting and that sort of stuff, so I would lock them into a contract. I have clients that I just do like newsletters, email newsletters, and email sequencing, and you don't see like instant results right there, but it's like working. So like you want to lock those types of people into a contract. So I've got them locked up for 3 months. So yeah, for like lead gen stuff, I would say month to month, because there's an instant result, something they can see right there, and you can see if you're fucking up too. So yeah, there's a difference.
Awesome. Let's see. Ken is raising his hand.
Yeah, I have a question. I heard that, like, would that make sense? Like, if I say, let's say, I exclusive one dentist in this city, right? Let's say Fremont, and then I would say, I could provide you free leads for a month, right? And I work really hard, be able to generate the result. Would that be a good like sales pitch? Like, doesn't hurt if they get a few new clients, they will be hooked. And I would say that is exclusive to this city, right? If you don't want to have it, that's fine. I will move on with the other dentist.
Are you asking specifically like how do you structure a sales pitch?
Yeah, I heard about this idea. I don't know if that makes sense. So that like in this California, like I could approach different cities, right? I could do exclusive like service, one dentist per city. So I don't compete myself. I don't do SEO. I do SEO rank only for that particular dentist. You know what I'm saying? So that I could charge them higher premium. Yeah.
Yeah. You could always try that out. See if it works. I for the first gym contract I ever wrote up, I said I wouldn't compete. I had a do not compete clause in there for a 20-mile radius. And then I realized, holy crap, I can't like get any other gyms in a 20-mile radius. So the next month I scrapped that contract and rewrote a new one without that in there, just because like that kind of hurt my prospecting abilities.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Maybe like try to open the doors, right? I don't need to make it too exclusive, right? But if it works, I could approach other dentists as well in the area.
Yeah. I mean, test it out, see if it works. If
I think
you
the really
fail,
cool thing. Go ahead.
yeah, if you fail, it's just another data point. Like you're gonna fail so much at the beginning. Just accept it. I sucked. Like I was so bad, but like
But then you got really good really quickly.
Yeah, I feel like because I failed so much, like I learned from it. And that's the best way to do it. Just constantly be taking action, be persistent, and you'll get there. Just fall on your face a couple times, it will be okay.
Yeah, and I think the thing to realize is like we're so lucky to be able to work like on the internet. So like I always try to remind myself of this like abundance mindset, right? Like if someone in my local town says no, not only are there a ton of other people like in my local town, there's a ton of other people in all these other towns that I haven't even like touched, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, there in every local business needs digital marketing services. Holy crap. Like freaking their cousins are running their Instagrams and Facebooks and like have no idea how to run a campaign online. Like they need your help. Just find the good ones. Like when you find the good ones, you'll save so much time. The ones that don't bother you and just let you do your work, holy crap, so nice.
Could you define like what that means? Like good client? Do they pay you like $2,000 a month and they ongoing with just hook and you could deliver result they are happy? Like how do you define a good client?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the amount of money. I would say it's like I have a coffee shop client that pays me $600 a month, and I just have to write 2 emails for them, like each month, and they don't bother me. They just let me write those 2 emails. I send them a Google form asking them what they want to put in the newsletter emails, and I whip them up. And the reason why they pay me so much just to write those 2 emails is because I built their email marketing list from 0, and now it's up to 1,200, and they're like, yeah, that's freaking fair. So a good client is somebody that doesn't bother you a lot, that like you'll know what a good client is when you have a bad client, because a bad client will like text you nonstop, like add more shit to your to-do list. And like the funny thing about local business owners is because they have all these ideas in their head that they want to get done with their business, and they'll probably see you as like the person to solve them all. So they will like just throw all this crap at you, and you got to be able to say no to a lot of that crap. It's just like that is a bad client that doesn't know when to shut their freaking mouth. So a good client is one that like just lets you do your work and just leaves it at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that help, Ken?
Very, very good feedback.
Okay, awesome.
I think another thing is like a warning signal would be, like right before you're trying to, or like when you're kind of in the negotiation phase or something like that, like the bad clients that I personally have had, like they're very like, it's like a really, really, really back and forth. And it's like, okay, like, are you going to actually cover this thing? Like, are you going to cover this minute detail? And then like, can you break this down? Like which of these is worth like that much? Like, why am I paying like this much?
Yeah.
And if they do that, like that's going to be a bad client. I can already tell.
Yeah, especially in those discovery meetings, you'll see red flags, and you just got to be like, oh, like sometimes you're like, oh crap, this is going to turn out terribly. Should I back out now? So I totally resonate with that, man.
Okay, you guys, do you want me to upgrade the Zoom? It's about to like expire, and I got to upgrade it if we want to keep going. Should I?
Can you upgrade
I guess there? It says that I can upgrade it literally right now. I'll do it so that we don't end.
Do it, you cheap bastard.
I know. Okay, so just me. Okay, so if it ends, then I'll put it back on. I'm trying to do it with PayPal. California, upgrade now. Pop-up was blocked. Sorry, you guys. I'll pop up then. Confirm. Think it's gonna work. But we also have, so before this ends, hopefully it looks like it's still, I think we're still on here. We had some questions in the group that I asked beforehand from people who were not going to be able to join us. Choose a way to pay. This is really weird. Sorry, you guys. About niching down, and you kind of addressed that a little bit, but how did you, like at the very beginning, like did you go in with the mindset like, I want to, like I specifically want to target this type of business, or did you just kind of just be like, whatever comes like right at the beginning?
With my initial message on Facebook, it was kind of like whatever comes my way. But when I was going out and talking to local businesses, I specifically wanted to focus on chiropractors and gyms, just because they were the easiest clients.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Let me go and look really quickly in the group to see if there were other questions that I didn't address, or that we didn't address. Oh, Ben also wants to know, did you ever do cold calling? Not just cold emailing, but did you ever do like cold calling? That's like for the brave.
So I did cold calling for 2 years for an IT sales company out in Chicago. And I was calling these Fortune 500 companies and trying to talk to like ICOs and CTOs. And did I say ICOs? That's
Yeah,
cryptocurrencies.
I know. I was like, what?
That's CIOs and CTOs. And like, oh my God, cold calling sucked. So like for this venture, no, I didn't. I know people that have a lot of success with cold calling. Sometimes it's really hard to get the decision maker on the phone. You've got to make a lot of calls, but if you do get the decision maker on the phone, make sure that you have their website pulled up and like some notes on like what you could talk about in regards to like how your services will help. And if you just give them very helpful suggestions on like how to kind of like structure their website a little bit better, or like what they can do on Facebook to get more page likes, something like that, just some helpful tips, then you'll stand out as the expert and you're not just there to take their money. Like you've always got to be in the mindset of like you're there to help their business. You want them to put in $1 and get out 5. So you can't be like, oh, let me run Facebook advertisements for you and pay me $1,000. Like that's a terrible mindset to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you on the mindset stuff. Like, I remember when I was first kind of starting out, like, I mean, even more recently too, or even more recently than that, like, just you notice like when you consciously shift your mindset to like focus on helping people and focus on serving other people as opposed to like focus on making money for yourself or something like that, like pretty much instantly, like things will start to change, and it'll just reflect like in how you word things and how you phrase things. And it really comes through. So
for real, and it just makes the conversations feel way more natural and less forced and oh my God, there can be so much awkwardness when you're talking about money. Like focus more on the helping part than talking about money. Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that I would say is to like the inflection and like the tone of your voice is also really, really important. So instead of saying like, well, like for like this is gonna be like $1,500, like you want to say like my rates are $1,500 per month, and like kind of like go down. That was one thing that I don't know, when I started implementing that, or when I started like listening to my voice and just trying to take notice of that, like I noticed myself doing like upward and like questioning inflection like all the time, even when I was like at the grocery store or something. So definitely something to be aware of.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. We're known for it in Australia.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I've been working on that a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah, it definitely takes like a conscious effort to catch yourself.
Yeah, and I think like it comes with confidence too. When you get more confidence in your abilities and like what your services provide, your voice will, like when you're putting money out there, your voice will naturally go down just because it's like a confidence thing. When you're unsure, your voice naturally goes up. So like the more you do it, the more confident you'll become. So if you do it your voice goes up the first few times, don't worry about it. Like it'll change.
Yeah.
But very good idea. Yeah, be conscientious of it. That's huge.
Yeah, and another tip is like, I learned this from one of my friends. His name's Tyson. For whatever reason, using the word or using the phrase like my rate is, like, I don't know why, but I guess the psychology behind that is like, you know, my rate is a number that's like, it's not something that I'm going to like bend and like, you know, try to fit to your needs. Like, this is my rate, like it's fixed. And, you know, if you want the services that we discussed, like this is what it costs.
Yeah. And another thing with closing, what I do is it's anchoring. So a psychology technique. I give them a really high number. I'll be like, yo, my services for Facebook advertising, building out the sales funnel, which is a mini website, doing the email automation on top of that, like listing those things off, and then saying for all that, I typically charge $2,500. But just with our conversation right here, I really like you and I would really love to work with you. So I think $1,500 would be fair. So like if you anchor them to a high number and then give them like a discount, like a perceived discount, then they're much more willing to do it than just starting off with, yeah, it's $1,500. Like they like anchoring has helped me close so many more deals. And I just got a text back from the supplement company that I'm working with, and he texted me, "Thank you so much for the discount." I'm like, it wasn't really a discount. Like I just anchored you to a high number.
Yeah.
So kind of cheap, but it works. So and giving them like a grocery list of your services before you close them. So always remind them of like all the stuff that you're providing. So I provide lead generation services, but what's involved in those lead generation services, you want to think about like just every single thing that you're going to do for them, just to remind them at the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing, if you're uncomfortable saying like, you know, usually I charge, or, you know, if you're uncomfortable like making up some random like big number, like that was one thing that I was personally like uncomfortable with. I would say like typically my services range from, and then like you can start from like 3,500 at the high end all the way down to like, you know, 1,500 or whatever. And then you can say like, based on what we've talked about here, like, I think this is gonna, like for you today, like this is gonna fall at the 1,500 range or something like that. So you can give them like a range, and so you're not necessarily saying like, well, every other person that I charge is like at like 3,500, but you are gonna be like at 1,500. So it's just another way to phrase it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that I wanted to ask you though, that we were talking about a couple days ago, was you were mentioning how you like to show people a like a live demo of like bots like on your phone.
Yeah,
Can
man.
you do that like when you walk in, and like can you explain a little bit about like how you would go about that? Because I thought that was a really cool technique.
It's my favorite freaking thing to do, because you see like the range of emotions going through people when like you start discussing chatbots with them. So like you discuss all the benefits, and like they're like, wow, that's really awesome. So you tell them like it's 80 to 90% open rates compared to 20 to 30% for traditional email marketing. And then you got 30% click-through rates compared to 5% for traditional marketing. And you go through all those benefits, like it's a 24/7 salesman, customer service rep, and like all this other stuff. And like you see them like, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. Then you put the like actual bot in their hand. Like you can go to your messenger right now, your messenger app, and go to the discover tab that's in the bottom right hand corner and pick out a bot. Like I'll type in coffee right now. And this is before I started like actually producing a lot of bots. This is what I would do. So I would just type in coffee, and like a coffee shop bot comes up, and I would put this bot in their hand and they would interact with it, and like their eyes would just like light up, and they're like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I need this for my business. So I love that. Like it's one of my favorite things to do.
That's like a really awesome strategy. When I when I heard you say that, I was like, that's brilliant. Because like bots are so cool, and like the reality is like they're not super complicated. Like you don't have to be a coder to like build one, but for people who don't know anything about marketing and have never seen one, they're like, oh my God, like I could have this for my business.
Yeah, exactly, man. They're so sweet. Yeah.
Hey, Ken, you're raising your hand. You don't have to like raise your hand. You can just talk if you want. You got the floor. Ken?
Yes, very good. Yeah, I'm very impressed because most of the time I focus on the SEO and sort of like passive income. But I'm just trying to learn how to like create service and how to create the values. And I see that like serving local business is pretty cool. You know, like I like this idea. I just need to try to learn about that. And I have another partner that could do sales and help me to do customer support. So I could focus on the technical side of things. No, I'm just here to learn. I don't have, I, what, the question I have is more about the gym. Do you refer to like those small like local gym that they are not like a group of like network, that kind of a gym business?
Wait, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I mean like those gym, like you're talking about like the fitness, like that kind of gym business. Uh, is it like those are very small like gym? They don't have much budget, or they don't have like very good advertising?
Yeah, gyms don't really usually have good advertising. They have the budget for it. Typically, well, it definitely depends on the size of the gym, but you got traditional gyms, you got CrossFit gyms, you've got multifunctional gyms. They're all over the place, but they're basically the same in terms of advertising for it, because you have people that have a pain, which is they want to lose fat and gain muscle, and that's the advertisement you put out basically. And then you offer them something like crazy. So like usually I convince my clients to do 1 month free. It works amazing because like if they have a good sales process internally, they can flip that person real quick from like coming in for their first month for free to getting their credit card out on the first visit. And you get a crap ton of leads if you offer just an irresistible offer on Facebook. And it's all about, I'm kind of going off on a tangent right here, if you don't
No,
mind.
this is good.
But it's all about like, you want to walk in being the expert on how their business should be structured. And no local business, like very rarely they will have a value ladder in place or know what the value ladder is. And when you can describe the value ladder to them, being like the first rung is how you get leads in the door, really where the whole process starts. The next rung is your first service, and like you've got to have a plan between those two rungs, how to get somebody from the initial lead to their first service, to getting their credit card out, to bumping them up to an annual contract, to a plan to get them in for your special events. So if you can help them structure their value ladder, then they see why doing a huge irresistible offer in the first rung of their ladder is so important. And Ken, I can't freaking remember what your original question was. So
No,
what?
but yeah, I think maybe good like could tell me a little bit more like like dentist, chiropractors, and gym. Like what is the pain point I'm trying to digest. I have ideas about like contractors, like roofer, and other things. But I think I may dive into those industry a little bit more later. To see that if there's any like SEO opportunity as well, I could explore.
Yeah, I think there's a huge SEO opportunity for all those industries. Every local business needs more customers, and that's what SEO provides. If you can show them tangible results of how they're ranking higher and really tie those, I don't know, I'm not big into SEO, but if you can tie those rankings into people actually showing up at their gym or chiropractic office or dentist, then that is where you win, when you can actually show that correlation between the two. So if you can generate leads for them through your SEO and show them that it's working, that's your business right there. You get results, you show results, and then you make money from there. And you make your super duper happy.
Yeah, but I see that I will be learning from Nico, which is like create the funnels. I see that like scalable because you buy Facebook ads, you set the geolocation, and then we could create some very creative like images. Because I have a team that could do graphic design as well and some copywriting. I see that is a funnel, right? We build that up. That people click and sign up free like membership or like free like teeth checkup. I think that's it. That could be something very scalable, and I could like approach different clients for that service.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about in terms of like bait offerings or irresistible offers for a gym, like 1 month free works great. It's hard, like it's not, if you have a good way to convince the gym owner, then like you'll be fine. But sometimes up front, it's kind of hard to say, hey, offer your services free for a month. A lot of them will just say no if you say it that way. But if you can convince them, it works flawlessly on Facebook. So 1 month free for gym, a $21 chiropractic health assessment for chiropractor works really, really well. And in the ad copy, all you have to say is like neck pain, back pain, like, are you struggling with these? Like, name off all the freaking pains, and then say like you specialize in that, like the chiropractor specializes in this, and we can fix you with this health assessment. So that's a really good bait for chiropractors. For dentists, $10 teeth cleanings. Oh my God, dentists can make freaking bank on just offering a $10 teeth cleaning, and then they got the 6-month checkups, and then they have some people that are going to come in and need cosmetic workups and just all this stuff. Like dentists, oh my God, I don't know why every dentist isn't doing a $10 teeth cleaning just to get people into their office.
Yeah, I see that those are high value, like local industry. They will not be cheap, because like one new clients they make $1,000s on them. So I think that they are willing to pay you like getting like new lead, like 5 or 10 new leads every month.
Yeah, it's very important to figure out what the customer lifetime value is in your discovery meetings. So like for a lot of gyms, they'll say like $800 to $1,000 for their customer lifetime value. So I'll look them in the eye and be like, hey, so if I get you 8 leads, or if I get you 10 leads this month, you're saying that's $8,000 to $10,000 in your pocket. Would you, like, over the lifetime span of that customer, would you agree with that? Get them to agree with that, because then you can go back and, like, if he says, oh, we only, like, you'll probably get him more than 10 leads in a month. Like I got one gym 258 leads in 3 weeks. So like you can go back and be, if he says, oh, we only got 14 leads this month, you could go back and be like, you said 10 leads is worth $8,000, $10,000 in your pocket. So I know the like first time they pay you is only going to be like $30 for the first month, but think over the lifetime, you will be making bank off these people. So leads are super duper important. Another rant of Andrew Kroeze.
Yeah, no, that's awesome though. I think like really, you know, trying to focus on the value ladder and try to focus on, you know, hey, yeah, I'm getting you like, you know, really what I'm bringing you is like, how am I trying to word this? I don't know. I can't think right now, but really like the lifetime value of, you know, the leads that I'm going to be helping you get, like it's so much more than, you know, what you're going to be paying for like 1 month. Obviously you don't want to word it like that, but you really kind of want to like drive that home. And some people are going to be worth way more than, you know, the average for like, you know, dentists and like doctors and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I had one customer say, hey, I'm paying you $1,500. And like, yes, the customer lifetime value is that much, but I have to pay you next month for $1,500. I'm like, dude, you're getting at least 25 new leads. Like that's so much more money in your pocket. Like you're thinking about it the wrong way. And one thing that I've learned, like, is you have to be able to correct their thinking. Like you can't just be like, oh yes, yep, you're right. You got to be able to like put your foot down and be like, no, this is how you should be thinking about it. It's very, very important.
Yeah, it's all about framing it in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and check on anyone. Jordan said in the comments, she said, where did you find your clients? It kind of already answered that. It kind of looks like, Ella, do you feel like you got your question answered? You asked earlier, like onboarding procedure, how has that evolved? Did you have all your systems in place already? We kind of touched on that.
Yeah. I think just because of having like a high volume of clients coming on in a short space of time, I think I just wanted to clarify whether you kind of had all that set up in the first place, or did you kind of have to tweak what you did with experience?
Yeah, I'm very unorganized. So no, I did not have it all set up, but I kind of learned along the way. And starting out, you have the right mindset. Like it should be all about revenue generating activities. So just get out there and sell, and just start selling, because your cash flow is your lifeblood. You need to always be selling and always bringing on new clients, or your business will die.
Yeah. And do you outsource, like how much do you personally take on? Like, do you have a full-on team, or you start
No,
off with-
I've never used Upwork. I've never used any of those websites. I've done everything myself, because like I only do lead generation and some lead nurturing services. So it's the same process every time. If you can simplify what you do, and if it produces results, just do it over and over and over, and you will save so much time if you just simplify your process, and you won't have to outsource. Yeah.
Especially
I
with,
think
like,
I go and I sell my services, and then I freak out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm only one person. I can't handle all this business. And then I start shutting myself down, shutting down the new business. And then I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. That was scary.
Yeah, no,
Ah.
pressure sucks. Like, I've like, meditation has literally saved my business from just being able to, like, when I have those freak out moments, because those are gonna happen, I still have them. But when I can just like take a breath, and like my girlfriend reminds me like, yo, you need to meditate, like it's a breath of fresh air. So if you meditate, like, keep doing it. If you don't do it yet, I highly suggest getting the Calm app, which is what I use. I freaking love it. And it just makes my days so much better.
That's cool. I do float. I do float tank.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Amazing. I love it. I do one at least monthly, if not twice a month.
do you do the hour sessions?
That's awesome.
Hour and a half, 90-minute
Oh,
session.
wow.
Yeah, that's the optimal length of time to get your theta waves kind of doing all the right stuff. And it's great. Like, I'll meditate before I go in. I did one 2 days ago, and I meditated for about half an hour. And then I went in and had this amazing session where I was just trying to activate.
That's insane.
Yeah, when I was living out in Chicago, I had one scheduled, and then I had to cancel it. But I'm in Cleveland now, and you just inspired me to reschedule one. So I'm gonna
Totally do it.
I was also thinking about doing 10-day silent retreat. Have you ever done that?
I don't know if I could survive that.
I've heard it's like one of the worst experiences of your life while you're going through it, but like after, it's just like you're a totally new person, because like you just feel more, you know? I heard like do the 10-day silent retreat, but cancel like everything a week after, because things are going to be fucking weird. So I definitely want to do it, and it's going to be tough, but I think it will be just a totally transformational experience. So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I would even consider doing that, honestly.
No,
Like, that'd be torture.
but yeah.
Cool. Does anyone have like more questions? Feel free to speak up if you do.
Yeah, I think I missed it. But like, let's say what is your like? So I don't have a client yet, and I'm going to get one, my first client. So what would you recommend, or what, like, because I think you mentioned that like you just focus on the sales, or do you think that the process would be more like figure out your package, your services, and then go and sell? Like, what would you recommend for newbies, like, to get the first client?
Yeah, figure out what you really want to, like, what is really going to produce the optimal result for your clients, and do that. So if it's SEO and you're good at SEO, just sell SEO at first if it produces enough of a result, and test that out first. If you need to add more services in there, add more services, but I would start out real basic. Whatever produces results for your clients, do that. Does that help?
Yeah, or like, what is the right mindset? Like, I think you said that already, which is more like just like, don't fear the rejections, try to create the values and go from there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying earlier, I used to run free 1-week trials, and that was great because like I didn't have the pressure of like performing. Like I did, they had to pay the ad spend, which was $100 to $150 that week, but I didn't have the pressure of them paying me. And I learned so much from taking on those free trial clients, because like I could kind of test around with their money and like just really put my services to the test. So I think that's a great way to start out.
Yeah, I see that like besides SEO, if I could create a funnels and even the Facebook bots, I think that could be like good package. Like I don't mind to give them like really good service and provide a result. And I'm sure that I could even upscale them, upsell them some other services, right? To give them more leads or give them more new business.
Yeah, and you got to figure out like what they need. So like some of my customers need lead generation services. I had a CrossFit, like basically all my customers need lead generation services, but I had one CrossFit client that was like, yo, I don't need any more like new members right now. Like we're pretty much packed, but I would like to have a more cohesive gym. Like I would like my internal members to feel more a part of a family. And I was like, awesome. So we'll do a strategy session, how to do that. We'll set up your Facebook page. We set up a members page, a members group on Facebook that has just exploded. Like they're
That's an
getting
awesome
so
idea.
much engagement in their Facebook members group. And we set up newsletter emails that go out. So I helped him structure his group, and like he's doing Facebook Lives now, because Facebook Lives like pop up on people's news feeds, so like everybody's news feed. So always be pushing Facebook Live. And like one of the things that I've started doing this past month that like gets me some quick cash and like really helps these local businesses is doing consulting services. So just like I'll go in there for hour and a half and basically tell them everything I know. I give them the blueprint of how to run this themselves and explain the value ladder, explain the 3 different types of traffic, problem, agitate, solve, which we've talked about before, Nico. Like that's huge. Like I give them everything they need to start like having an amazing digital marketing presence. And I let them run with it. So a lot of times, like there are clients that you don't want to work with. Maybe they don't have too many Facebook page likes. They don't have like much of a digital presence, and you know, like you're not going to be able to provide like optimal results. And you can say, hey, I can get you in the right on the right track with an hour to an hour and a half session. Here's what we'll go over, and we'll just get you started, and then maybe down the road we can work together. And like these just I think what Jeff called it is like just be an asshole with a whiteboard. Like you just bring a whiteboard in and start drawing the value ladder, and like just everything you can learn from .com Secrets, which is an amazing book. I've just got Expert Secrets, so I'm really excited to read that. But
So
like
good.
just take a book, like really soak it in, highlight those points and bring it into a meeting and share it with people. They will think like you're the smartest person on the face of the earth, and you're just regurgitating what you read in a book. And like nobody has like a real original thought. Don't feel bad about like taking things out of a book and explaining it to people. When you're able to extract information from something and eloquently like share it with people, that is so valuable, so valuable. So consulting services is huge. Just do like an hour and a half session and just be an asshole with a whiteboard.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, because a lot of people, at least within the digital marketing world, like we kind of feel like, oh, well, I mean, maybe some people on here haven't even read Expert Secrets, but for me, or I mean, .com Secrets, but for me, it's like a lot of people who are familiar with ClickFunnels like have probably read that, and it's like, you know, is it worth me even trying to tell a prospective client about that? Because like out of the fear of like, you know, are they going to know it already? And they'll be like, oh, like
Talk
that's
about this.
Yeah.
And like I don't like I get nervous about sharing stuff in my group being like, everybody knows this already, it's not going to be good information. but like when I put it out there and like I still get reactions to it and people like commenting on it, like thank you, I'm like, oh, okay, that's sweet. It was good information. Like even if they know that information, like what you're putting out there should be stuff that like is valuable. So if it is valuable but they already know it, it's always good to like just jam it in their head a little bit more. So it's always beneficial to put valuable information out there.
Yeah. Wasn't there a trick that you, or like some sort of, yeah, the thing where you were like, if it's like, you had a numbering system, right? About
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
yeah,
something I
tell us
just
about
started
that.
implementing. I think I got it from the Good Life Project podcast. It's my favorite podcast of all time. If you have not listened to the Good Life Project, listen to it. It will change your life. It's awesome. But some guest was on there, and what she does is she structures her decision-making system on a scale from 1 to 10, excluding the number 7. So she puts it, the value that she, or the information that she's going to put out there, she ranks it on a scale from 1 to 10, taking away the number 7. And if it's 6 or below, then she doesn't put it out there. If it's 8 or above, she'll know that's the right information I want to put out there. I'm going to put it out there. So maybe you can do the same like system for like copywriting for a website or something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to give another example, but it's a great way to like really just take a moment, sit back, think, hey, is this above an 8 or above, or is this a 6 or below?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an awesome kind of benchmark to go off of. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
All right. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Does anyone have any last minute questions before we let Andrew go?
Andrew, one more thing. So sorry, I think really quick. I learned that some people, they do like those kind of free workshop to teach a small business, like to do like digital marketing, right? Give them all the information about SEO, Facebook ads and stuff like that. Be an expert, right? And then eventually they don't want to do the work and they will hire you for that. Is it like how we could try out?
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is kind of like what my buddy Tony did, and he went to, and you can do it in person too, but he went to a Dentalville forum and like put out all this information of like what goes into Facebook advertisements and like what you got to do for them, all this shit that you got to do for, can I swear on here? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I've been swearing the whole
Go
time.
for it. Yeah, it's all good.
But like what goes into building a funnel and all this stuff. And like when they see like, holy crap, that's a lot of work, I don't want to do it myself, but thank you so much for the valuable information, they'll be like, hey, can you help me build this out? You seem like a super smart dude. And then they start seeing you as an expert. And you could do that in person too, during like a discovery meeting. Just share with them everything that goes into a Facebook advertisement with all the testing and the optimization. And holy crap, I hate Facebook advertisements because they're so funky. Like sometimes they'll produce like 5 leads in a day and then like they won't produce a lead in like 3 days straight. I hate them. Hate them so much. And like local business owners, if they haven't run a Facebook advertisement, they've never experienced that. But you can share that pain point with them and be like, yo, like sometimes Facebook ads can give you a big headache, and I'll take that off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Very good point. Very good point.
Thanks, Ken.
I had a quick question as well. If you wouldn't mind just quickly recapping the process that you go through from D7 Lead Finder onwards. You mentioned another couple of websites or apps or something.
And I'll have Nico share the websites in the group, but it goes from D7 Lead Finder to you download the CSV file, and then it's going to be all like the lines are going to be screwed up and all that crap. You want to put into Text Mechanic to like make it look pretty, and then you want to put it through Never Bounce. So you extract the emails that are crap and that won't go anywhere. And then you want to send them in 45-minute intervals. So you only want to send out 15 to 20 minutes at a time in 45-minute intervals so they don't get caught into spam folders.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And I'll share those websites with you, Nico.
Yeah, sounds good. I was kind of trying to write it down, and then I'll post everything, and then I'll post the recording of this too once it's all like downloaded.
Yeah. What was another thing I was going to share? Oh, another thing for you guys. Man, this is a lot of value. I'll share it with you guys.
So much value. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Drop some hearts down below, you guys.
Seriously.
But Reference USA, write that website down too. referenceusa.com. So you have to get a library card, yes, an old school library card, and you'll have a library card number. And then you go to your library's website. You go to, I think it's resources. They'll have like a resources tab. You go to Reference USA on your library's website. You type in the your library card number, and then you have access to a metric crap ton of businesses, the business owner's name. You'll find out how much they pay for their marketing per year, and how many employees they have, all these different metrics, and it's amazing. This one guy in one of my groups, he did like, he used Reference USA. He took the business owner's name, found them on Facebook, and would add 100 people per day to his Facebook. After a week and a half, he did, it's called Curious Student Post, or just like what we were talking about earlier. Hey, I'm starting this business. I'm willing to do this free for a week. He did a Curious Student Post. He got over 100 people hitting him, like business owners hitting him up, being like, hey, will you do this for my business? I really need to follow up with him. But like, that's just freaking, like, he told me about this method. I just thought it was mind blowing because I hadn't done it. And like, then I saw the results and I'm like, holy crap, everybody needs to be doing this. So Reference USA is a huge, amazing, awesome tool as well.
I had never even heard of that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Dropping like all these value bombs.
Value bombs. I'm actually going to get the recording of this and going to post it in the mastermind group. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I extended the Zoom trial and didn't kick us off. So
Absolutely. I still haven't bought Zoom yet. I thought I bought it. So I have these like group calls with my beta groups, and like I turn them off after 40 minutes and have to turn them back on, and like they get so frustrated with that. I need to upgrade. So good move, man.
Yeah, it let me do it on PayPal, which was cool. So
nice.
Yeah, sweet. So anyone else have any last minute questions before we let this awesome dude go for the night? No, we're all good. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Seriously, like my mind is blown, and I'm sure like everyone here, it seems like we got a ton of value. So, and the guys who are going to watch later are going to love this. So really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, thank you. Like you're really down to earth and sharing a lot of great tips, and keep me excited and motivated. Very nice.
Awesome. You guys are going to kill it. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much, Nico.
All right. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to end the call. I'm going to stick on with Andrew for just a second, but yeah, I'll chat with you guys in the group, and I'll post the recording as soon as it's available.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Right.
Hey, have a good night, you guys.
All right. See you guys.
See you, Ken.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
Yeah.